Hi, this is Jeff with Controlled Elements in Ventura, California. We're a heating and air conditioning company. This video is going to talk a little bit about the variable speed motor in a residential furnace application. This motor actually came out of a Carrier 800VS. The VS stands for variable speed. Basically the way that system works is it's got a main circuit board and a CFM board. You can adjust the different CFMs for your high-low fire on your heat and your air conditioning settings. Basically the main circuit board will send out an AC or a DC signal to this motor. It's got a module mounted right on the back of the motor. This one's actually a 16-pin connector. Some of the older VS motors have got a 4-pin connector. This one's got a 5-pin connector right here above the 16-pin connector. And what that does is it takes 120 volt power constantly. And it's always hot, and basically when you take a signal in through the 16-pin connector, the motor knows what speed it wants to be running at. This motor I've already taken apart. There's 4 screws like a regular shaded pole motor that you can pop off. The top of this sucker comes off. You can pull this whole thing apart if you want to get really into it and see what this thing is all about. This guy right here actually will work as a fantastic magnet. If you ever lose a screw or something, this sucker will pick up my truck. Kind of need a piece of metal to prove it, but yeah, this is badass. Anyways, we'll set that off to the side. This top plate comes off, the bottom plate comes off. You can unplug a jack that the motor was plugged into on this module here. And then if you want, you can go ahead and inspect the motor windings. I like to just look for any burn marks. That's an obvious sign that your motor's shot. Now if you don't have any, there is a way that you can take your multimeter, do a continuity test on this motor and prove if that motor is good or not. In this case it was real easy to see what the problem was. I took this module apart. There's a little clip and a single Phillips screw that holds this in place. And this circuit board comes out. Check out the back of that circuit board. You can see where it's fried right there. On the other side there was actually a thermistor, which is right here, that just smoked right off the back of the board. And you can see the couple pins down in here. Let me see if I can get in there. You can see where the pins were that thing was connected to. It just smoked and burned up. So this one was obvious. They do make a tool. It's called the TechMate Pro. Gentech puts that out. They're about 60 bucks. They used to be about 180, so the cost has come down quite a bit. This is what your tool looks like. It's just called the TechMate Pro. Comes with a good manual that goes over the various variable speed motors that the industry has put out over the last 10-15 years. Basically, General Electric used to produce all of these variable speed motors, but they got bought out in I think 04 by a company called Regal. That company owns Leeson, Marathon, Fasco. They're a big player when it comes to motors. So they were able to retain the General Electric name through 09, and after 09 they formed a new name called Gentech. So most likely any motor that's manufactured after 2009, it should be labeled with the Gentech. There's only about 5 or 6 different models. It'll be the nomenclature is an ECM and then like a series of numbers, 2.3, 3.0, etc. Basically the way that this little tool works, I've already pulled this heater out of the cabinet because I knew that it was shot and needed to be replaced. By the way, if you want to just change out the module on the back of this motor, you can do that, but they're going to want 430 bucks or so for the module. For the whole motor with the module, you can get for about 530. So you're talking an extra 100 bucks. They're going to throw the motor in. This is a 3/4 horsepower motor. It might be a good insurance policy for your customer to just get the whole damn set. So if you took your TechMate Pro while this motor was still installed, you're going to want to just disconnect power to your furnace. This TechMate's got a series of jacks on the end. One's a 4-prong connector right here, and then you got a 16-prong connector. The 4 pins for some older motors that run on the 4-pin. Our motor would have ran on the 16-pin, so you take this sucker, unplug the 16-pin jack that was connected from your circuit board to this motor, and then go ahead and plug in the one from this TechMate. And you got 2 alligator clips on the end here. you're going to plug these into common and 24 volts on your circuit board. Just power up this TechMate Pro with 24 volts, have it in the off position. Once you power it up, you got your 16-pin connector plugged into your motor. Turn that sucker on. I don't know if this one has an actual LED that lights up, but I think they make one that does. It'll prove that it's got the power it needs. Anyways, within 10 or 15 seconds, you ought to see your motor start to rock back and forth if the actual motor's good, and that'll prove that you've got a problem on the circuit board side of things, and that the actual motor with the module and this assembly is doing what it's supposed to do. It's a good troubleshooting tool. I can't recommend trying to decipher what voltage is going out to one of these from the circuit board without one of these tools. I've tried, and picking up the 24 volt AC versus your DC signals, it's just a pain in the butt. I don't quite recommend it. Anyways, that's it. And this manual I was showing you that the TechMate Pro came with, it's got a lot of great information. This is made by Gentech. I was telling you about that new company that formed out of GE and Regal. That's it. Get yourself one of these, and good luck troubleshooting one of these variable speed motors. It can seem overwhelming at first, but once you break it down, it's a pretty simple device. Take care and good luck out there.